Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover as reports recently hit the web following Eminem's second week sales for the death of Slim Shady that shows the album hit a new milestone in the United States. And this sparked some interesting reactions, and we'll explore more on this in a bit, as we also got some answers since some fans are shocked by this. And speaking on the new album, we got one that sparked outrage, as it seems the critics weren't just fighting back at Eminem with the ratings they gave the death of Slim Shady, but rather the battle is with the hip-hop genre, and we'll get to more on this in a bit. Today we also have more from Royce the 5'9", who recently put out a public service announcement about Eminem that some believe is meant for the quote stands only, but this goes way beyond the stands, and we'll expand on this in a moment. And today we got more from LL Cool J, who went off on what is considered floss raps and rappers who remain stuck on this subject matter even decades after they've been established. And on LL Cool J we got a snippet of a chat he had with Detroit rapper Lazarus on hip-hop bringing the world together. More on this later. And at the latter part of the video we'll be exploring a subject matter that has lingered for years, that refuses to die despite getting nuked whenever it goes viral. The claims that Michael Jackson bought Eminem's entire catalog as some revenge project because Eminem made jokes about him on Just Lose It. And we got more on this thanks to another clip that hit social media pushing this fake story, and we'll be revisiting some primary sources once again to put this to bed later in the video. And I will leave it up to you guys to spot the irony surrounding this drama. And starting with Eminem's latest project in the United States, this hit the web a few hours ago. Eminem's The Death of Slim Shady is now eligible for gold in the United States with over 500,000 units sold. And while this sparked some confusion, this happened pretty damn fast. No, the simple explanation is all the sales from Houdini and Toby, even before the album released, already amounted to around 130,000 equivalent albums sold in the United States before the album dropped. Billboard only tracks after release sales, but SoundScan and RIAA track everything, and at this point Houdini is already guaranteed in a few months or in a year to move at least 500,000 album units on its own in the United States at this rate. And yes, this figure includes 0 physicals, no CDs, cassettes or vinyls in the United States as of yet. Perhaps Eminem could save the next music video for when the physical copies are released in September. No one knows for sure. And yes, the positive reviews keep blowing up. Like this one a few hours ago. I finally listened to that Eminem album. That dude technical skill is on 99. And moving on, Royce the 5'9" recently had a public service announcement. He took to IG to share this. Please stop reaching out to me about Eminem. He's my dear friend, but he has excellent management who isn't very hard to reach. Thanks. And he added, this message is with love and respect. I'm just starting to notice a little trend. Peace, peace. And for those who think Royce is just talking about the stands, perhaps this joke from Twister could provide some more context when he stated, oh, by the way, can you hit M for me? Laughing emojis. And boy, Paige Kennedy saw this opportunity and took it. You should do them like you do me. When I reach out to you about you, ignore them.
Damn.
And apparently even some Jay-Z associates are going through the same. LOL, you sound like me almost every day about Jay. I have nothing to do with sports management or clothes or liquor. Laughing emoji. And moving on, LL Cool J decided to go off on the Baller Alert show as he looks to be tired of rappers who've been stuck for years, still doing floss raps even after pretty much everyone in the world already knows that they got some money. Check out a snippet.
We can't get caught up in like just money, leading with your wallet. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna get that. Okay, prime example, like with the music, right? A rapper, he comes out, he's talking that money talk. You love it. 12 years later, he's still talking that money talk. Now you're looking at it like, dude, do you have anything else to talk about? Like, my God, please, bro. Like, yo, did anything happen recently that you care about a little bit, right? So so that's what we got to remember. All of us sitting here, we different generations, but I bet you know Bob Marley.
Sure do.
You goddamn right you do.
Sure do. I just watched this movie on the plane last
you know,
week.
and you know why you because he talked about something.
Yeah.
Because he had something to say. And guess what?
Love, freedom.
Yeah, and you don't care what Bob Marley had in the bank.
Facts.
He might have died with $500,000. Do you care?
No.
And because that's not the metric for success. It is the metric for financial success. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to somebody earlier. That's why I said, like, you got these dudes. The first thing they want to do, they want to leave with their wallet. But homie, the wallet can't uncorny you.
Facts. Well,
it can't uncorny
my
you.
camera.
A wallet.
And boy, you should see the hit dogs holler going off on social media right now, completely missing the point with takes like rap has always been about flexing, really, since the beginning. Even during LLs, they made songs about getting money. But this point is disingenuous because LL is talking about rappers who choose to stick to floss raps for years on end, like there's nothing else to rap about. And here's spot on. I'd say the only people offended by this take are those whose favorite rappers have been stuck on floss raps for decades. Did someone say Gucci Mane? Must be the wind. And boy, Drake can't catch a break these days. Drake 1000% talking the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I don't know about this one. And LL Cool J recently had a chat with Detroit rapper Lazarus, and they briefly spoke about the global impact of hip-hop.
Hip-hop is growing around the world, man. Right now in Pakistan and India, hip-hop is flourishing, man. And it's just beautiful to see that it brings all races together.
You know, that's so true because I have a lot of people from like Mumbai, India. Everybody who watches my live knows they come on all the time and talk and, you know, kick it. So, yeah, it's worldwide, it's global, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So
bigger and bigger, man. And nothing brings together people better than hip-hop music.
That's true. That's true in a lot of ways, man.
And moving on, after the death of Slim Shady got panned by reviewers across the board, that we all know is because they found the lyrics on the album offensive, though they may lie about this. But this is clear as day when you investigate their political standings. But perhaps these reviewers weren't just straight up firing back at Eminem, but rather the hip-hop genre. And they clearly have a direction that they want the genre to go, because this happened a few hours ago. Pitchfork gave Ice Spice's Y2K a score of 7.6 out of 10, making it the highest rated mainstream rap album of the year so far. What are your thoughts? Is it one of the best albums of the year? And this left users with a head scratcher. This crap is a 7.6, but the death of Slim Shady is a 5? Laughing my bum off. Okay, not a 5. A 4.8 to be precise. And it is wild how people who use Pitchfork as proof that Eminem's albums are trash suddenly are up in arms because Ice Spice got a better rating than their favorite rappers. Oh, now it is a we problem when it comes to critics in hip-hop. And even Elliot Wilson is blown away by this as he reacted, nah, respectfully. And while you let it sink in, Ice Spice with the highest rated mainstream hip-hop album so far, we got another attempt to peddle the narrative that Michael Jackson as revenge bought Eminem's entire catalog.
There was a famous song by Eminem, and it made some reference like "Don't touch little boys like Michael," and had a music video where he had a Michael Jackson lookalike throw his nose across a bed or throw it at a wall. I watched that with Michael, and he didn't have much of a reaction to it, and I thought he would be angry. He said to me, I really respect Eminem, but he said, it is what it is, and that's that. And then I thought, wow, so you're going to sue him? I said, nah. About a month later, his best friend, Mark Lester. So Mark said, you know what Mike's done? I said, no, what's he done now? He's bought all of Eminem's music. I said, you sure? I said, yeah. Some kind of revenge thing. Next time I was with Michael, I was with him the following week. I said, Michael, have you bought Eminem's music? He said, yeah. He said, you know what? I thought about that video and it was wrong. I was sick of lawsuits. I've had them all my life. He said, I just bought all his songs. And now every time he wants to play, he has to ask me permission and I get paid.
Now, this narrative started in 2007 due to irresponsible journalism from the likes of The Guardian, who wanted to find an angle to sell this story as some revenge plot for clicks. And to this day, we are still paying for this. So now let's take a trip back to 2007, back to the original source, when Sony ATV reported after they purchased Famous Music LLC, and you wouldn't believe the number of times Eminem was mentioned in the original report of over 800 words, since you know sources like The Guardian made this entire purchase about some MJ revenge plot on Eminem, and the answer is Eminem mentioned a total of 1 time in the entire report. And this is because the deal included a total of 125,000 songs that just happened to include The Real Slim Shady and songs from huge artists like Shakira and Bjork. Perhaps MJ had beef with them too, yeah? Now, this was reported by sources that MJ bought Eminem's entire catalog as revenge. Why? And ask yourself before we get into the details, why was The Real Slim Shady mentioned in the official report when Lose Yourself was a much bigger hit? And this is where the whole story starts to crumble, because the simple answer to this, Famous Music LLC never owned Lose Yourself, never owned Eminem's entire catalog to begin with, and mind you, ownership is based on percentage points. It is nearly impossible to see a major label artist get 100% of their work owned by one entity. The Guardian wanted to sell the story with that headline, and we got databases like Sony's own database and also Discogs that proves Sony ATV never owned Eminem's entire catalog from 2007 back, not today, not in the past, never. And as far back as the data shows, in the past they owned a percentage, keyword percentage, very important, of Eminem singles, The Real Slim Shady and The Way I Am. That's it. If this was a revenge plot, it was a bad one, because they failed to acquire the one song that started the whole drama, Just Lose It, and for D12 or Percentage of Crap on You, Purple Pills and Devil's Night. These were the music that Famous Music LLC owned a percentage of when Sony ATV made the acquisition. Doesn't look like Eminem's entire catalog, no? And even today, Sony ATV from their own database, it shows they've lost ownership of those songs, The Real Slim Shady and The Way I Am. All these data can be accessed from primary sources, but people choose to pull up headlines from publications like The Guardian. But over to you guys, that will be all for today, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.